Hello, welcome back. If this is your first time, this is Thomas Pro, and today we're going to be talking about the Pixel 10. And this is kind of my week review, which means this is the day that I'm going to be officially turning back in my 8 Pro. I will miss you. Okay, so may I first say that it's a week review, but by no means is this a review of the phone itself in its entirety. That's because some features I'm still exploring and things are just coming up. So it would be fair to say the first week, whether good or bad, is the found factor of this phone. As another aside, I've been seeing a lot of videos about the other Pixel 10 and mostly the Pixel 10 Pro. It's not getting the best rap, in my opinion, not horrible, but not like stellar. Which all that to say is that kind of reinforces my decision that I picked right about going with the base 10. May I say, first off, my first impressions from using this, and I have confirmation from others, is that this is the most iPhone-ish Pixel phone that I've held. Now, granted, I know that the design hasn't changed much from the 9. I never had the 9, so I know the design. I know that I'm late, like actually holding this design. I've seen it in stores, but it's the first time that I'm grabbing it that I just thought, like, this just feels like an iPhone. And others confirm that. I've had 3 people who all in on iPhone, 2 teenagers, and the moment they saw my phone, they said, my little brother said, "That is that the fake iPhone?" So it's reached the younger generation. I gave this to my friend, could talk about tech. He's always been on an iPhone, Max, and his situation is more than justified with him using the tech that he uses from what he does. I just say, hold this phone. This is my new phone. He said, just tell me what you think. I didn't want to lead him on it. He said, like, One thing he said is heavier than his phone, and he has the 16 Pro. I think even the 16 Pro Max. He always go for the Pro Max and held the phone, and I realized that it is. He let me hold his Pro, and I thought, oh, it is actually heavier than the Pro. Surprising. His even had a case. And I have a case too, but it's like really clear as something not a lot. He noticed this camera cutout. Might be the first time he actually got that close to this camera. So this is part of the phone. Yeah, that's part of the phone. And the third thing he said was, it feels like an iPhone. So I thought, okay, confirmed. But other iPhone users that I'm not just making up, this does feel like an iPhone. And others have said that too. I know I'm not groundbreaking or anything. And I even felt that we kind of feeling it. The software, to how much it integrates with you. I'm not sure if I'm just in the beginning honeymoon of the phone. One feature that I don't like, okay, I'll go over a feature I don't like and I believe was a legitimate bug. So the one feature is I'm in the gym and, I got my headphones in, I'm running, and I got my music on pretty loud, I'm amped up. And it just lowers the volume on it. And I said my volume just went not quite mute, but just like less than half of what it was. And I looked at my phone like, what just happened? Because normally that happens when someone's calling me, where my volume will just kind of cut out for someone calling me. And I thought, okay, someone's calling me, and said, nope. And it just said, in order to preserve your hearing, blah, 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 we lowered the volume to a safety level. My view is, if I want to blow out my own eardrums so I don't hear nothing by age 40, that's my business. No. The other thing that I think was just a straight up bug is, I'll try to show these on the screen. It kept not uninstalling, but deleting the app from my home screen. So I don't have that many apps on my home screen. But it only did it with the YouTube Studio app. Not sure why, but several times, I think it happened at least twice, where I will try to go to it, and it's just not there. It took itself off my home screen. Hasn't done it for a third time, but I'm just letting it be out there that it did do it twice. So I know that's just a software bug, a glitch with the app itself or the phone, but just kind of keep it real. Outside of that, I went and took pictures and video. It's mostly the same. I can't really tell much difference. Granted, if I'm coming from the 8 Pro to the base 10, it's largely the same. 60, and if you want to do HDR, you gotta lower it down to 30 in order to get that look, that quality. I did it on the front facing. I do miss, it feels like I doesn't have for the front facing camera, enough like of a wide screen. I kind of felt that pain when I was trying to take group photos this trip. By the way, I just got back from a trip to Georgia. And so from here, so I'm in Ohio, and I went down to middle Georgia, like Ashburn, Georgia, to meet up with some family and friends down there. And so I took a lot of photos. I took photos, just in general, like of the scenery and that kind of thing, but I took actually group photos, that kind of thing. I did wish that this had a more of a wide screen on the front lens than it did. Maybe that's something that would be different on the Pro. So while I'm just now getting used to not having as large of a screen, I've been going for larger screens for the past few years, and I've gotten used to this ratio. But in the beginning, I was missing my larger screen, and like this is not a small screen, but I still like if I had my smaller phone, I can demonstrate. But basically, like you go for a smaller phone so you can use it one handedly. At least that's I thought that was the benefit of it. I still would use my little gymnastics things to use this phone anyway. So I didn't really gain the smaller phone advantage because it's not a small phone, it's just a smaller phone than the Pros or than the XLs now. But as far as picture and video quality, I find that more or less the same. Like they're good photos, they're good video. I don't see a drastic difference in that kind of thing, but they're good. They're good photos and they're good videos. But as far as like a big drastic change, I don't see that. And you can kind of look for yourself. This isn't like knocking the phone, but it's the same. It's a Pixel. So real quick, I'll go over battery life. I don't really have much to say in this area. I will say that the first day was probably the worst day of battery life. I'd say it just got low. I don't know, maybe like 30% on the first day. It wasn't what I was used to. Now, second day, I charged it up. No issues. That first day was the worst, and then from then on, no issues. I can't really say how good the battery life truly is because to me, in order for to test that, I will have to go as long as I can without hooking this up or charging it. And for me, it was either do that or use it in real world like I normally would use my phone. Because for me, I use Android Audio daily, which I it charges my phone. How I have to hook it up is I have a USB-C connected to my phone, which it charges my phone, and so that means I'm using it at least twice a day, possibly more. So I can't go too far without charging, and that's just not my normal use. So that's all I have to say about battery life. I will say there is something that has been improvement, and that has been the heating issue. From where I am to where I was in Georgia, it's about a 10-hour trip. Now, the longest I've driven was about 5 hours from here to Chicago. And the issue that I would have when I would take that trip was it would just overheat and it sometimes would even shut off. And I had to do all these kind of things to keep it out of the sun. It was an issue with the 8 Pro. So to go from that to driving twice as far and having no issue. So to me, that's probably one of the biggest improvements was the overheating issue is done. I haven't experienced none of that since with this phone. The other things is, the AI issues I do like. I can't say that now which ones am I going to use regularly? I do like this My Pixel. I think it's a Pixel app. Yes, the My Pixel app. Now, granted, maybe that is more useful to who have not used Pixel phones, but I thought it was a nice touch, and it leads you into it as you first start using the phone, and it's still there. So all the features that I might forget about, it's here. It's pretty cool. Something I didn't think I would care about. I actually do like it, and even the photo assist. Now, when they did the debut, it was photo assist to take picture of another person. I know that is you actually could use that on anything, any little subject. So if I was taking a picture of plants, a building, or anything, and it was kind of lead and guide me to take those photos. So I'll use it. I've used it several times now. How long will I use it? I don't know if this is a useful tool or a gimmick. Time will tell. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. This is just a little bit more than my first impressions of it. Overall, I like the phone. And ironically, as I'm filming this, Apple just had their event. So we'll see how well this video does. It probably don't matter. Hi, so post editing, and I did not include a few details that I plan to talk about in my video. Namely, I wanted to go more in detail about how Google is making it so much more like an iPhone to, of course, appeal to iPhone users. And I talk about Pixel Snap, which is just, MagSafe. And I don't even think they care if you call it MagSafe. That feature. And then there's also, now I can't, this is just my own theory, so I can't really confirm this, but Google well, I think beginning next year, is trying to put a stop to side loading on the Android phones, which for a lot of people, that was one of the biggest reasons that they were on Android was because you could sideload apps. And now they're getting rid of that. And some saying it's not going to make it as secure as Google is saying. But my theory is that Apple does not allow side loading. And I think this is just more of a way for them to blend those lines. It doesn't matter if it's safer or not, but they can say it's safer because Apple says it's safer. And that way, maybe get some users to migrate from iPhone to Pixel phone if that was their only hurdle. No proof on that. That's just my theory. But you guys let me know. What do you guys think of the Pixel 10 from what you've seen? Either you have one already or you just been looking at the reviews, but just let me know. And was I right? If you were going to get a Pixel 10, should it be this one? All right. Take care, guys.